All the class 7 students of St. Michael's Academy, welcome to online life science class. Today I am going to discuss the last part of sense organ. So let's start with nose, tongue and skin. First, start with nose. The human nose is more than just a flap of flesh and cartilage on the front of the face. Besides being part of the respiratory system that inhales oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide, the nose also contributes to other important functions such as hearing and tasting. The nose also plays the major part in the olfactory system. It contains an area of specialized cells, olfactory receptor neurons responsible for the sense of smell, that is olfaction. Olfactory mucosa in the upper nasal cavity contains a type of nasal gland called olfactory glands or Bowman's glands, which help in olfaction. Now see the diagram. The external structure of nose I have shown. Frontal bone, nasal bone, maxillary bone, septal cartilage, that means the separation of two noses actually, major alar cartilage and septal cartilage again, that is the separation of two nostrils. Now structure of nose. Internally, the nasal septum divides the nasal cavity into a right and left side. The lateral nasal wall consists of inferior and middle turbinates and occasionally a superior or supreme turbinate bone. The opening of the sinuses also is found under the middle turbinates on the lateral nasal wall. Now first see the diagram. Frontal sinus, superior turbinate. See, that means turbinate means one type of groove you can say. Middle turbinate, inferior turbinate. So three turbinates are there. After that vestibule, after that anterior organs. Now come to the next paragraph. Nose. The prominent structure between the eyes that serves as the entrance to the respiratory tract and contains the olfactory organ. It provides air for respiration, serves the sense of smell, conditions the air by filtering, warming and moisturizing it, and cleans itself of foreign debris extracted from inhalations. Nose, on the other hand, nose is the organ of smell. It helps us to detect different odors present in the air. It is also a part of the respiratory system and helps in breathing. The nose has two openings called nostrils that are separated by a septum. These nostrils lead into the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity bears the olfactory epithelium that further contains tiny receptors of smell. Odor molecules, that is chemicals, floating in the air reach the nostrils and dissolve in the mucus secretion, that is mucosa, of nose. The olfactory receptors detect an odor, get stimulated and send signals to the olfactory nerve. These nerves further pass on the impulse to the brain, which interprets the odor. The tongue is a fleshy muscular organ attached to the floor of the mouth. It has receptors for taste called taste buds that detect the taste, salty, sweet, bitter and sour. Each taste bud has taste receptor cells that transmit taste-generated impulses to the sensory nerve fibers attached to the brain. The tongue consists of striated muscle and occupies the floor of the mouth. The dorsal mucosal surface consists of stratified squamous epithelium with numerous papillae and taste buds. The tongue, a voluntary muscular structure, is attached by a fold called the frenulum to the floor of the mouth. Now, function of tongue. The tongue is vital for chewing and swallowing food, as well as for speech. The four common tastes are sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. A fifth taste, called umami or umami, results from tasting glutamate present in MSG. The tongue has many nerves that help detect and transmit taste signals to the brain. So see the diagram. Functions of tongue given: taste, speech, manipulate food, aid in swallowing. Basically, tongue has two parts, root portion and body portion. See the diagram. This is the internal structure actually. Internal structure of tongue has been given. You will understand better. Skin. Skin is the largest sensed organ found all over the body. Apart from serving as a protective barrier, it contains numerous sensory receptors that receive information from the environment. These receptors can sense pain, heat, cold, touch, and pressure. Skin consists of two layers. Not actually, skin consists of three layers: the outer epidermis, inner dermis, and a subcutaneous layer. So skin has three layers. The epidermis, the outermost layer of skin, provides a waterproof barrier and creates our skin tone. Epidermis is the outer tough dead layer of skin that wears away at the surface and is constantly replaced by new cells. The dark pigment melanin, which determines the skin color, is produced here. Second one is the dermis. Beneath the epidermis contains tough connective tissue, hair follicles, and sweat glands. Dermis is the inner layer of the skin. Many different structures are present in a dense matrix of connective tissue in the dermis: hair follicles, subcutaneous or sebaceous glands, sweat gland, blood vessels, and sensory nerve endings. Nerve endings give us information about the things with which our body comes in contact. They carry the information to the spinal cord, which sends messages to the brain, where the feelings is registered. And the last one is the deeper subcutaneous tissue or hypodermis is made of fat and connective tissue. Now, what are the functions of skin? Protection, secretion, sensation, heat regulation, excretion, and absorption. These are the actual function of skin. The seven most important layers of your skin: stratum corneum, composed of dead cells called keratinocytes. The stratum corneum is the outermost layer of skin, acting as a barrier to keep bacteria out and hold moisture in. Epidermis, dermal epidermal junction, dermis, hypodermis, muscle, and bone. Homework: which pigment determines the skin color? What is dermis? What are the functions of tongue? Describe the structure of nose. Thank you students. For any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. Even you need to send your regular life science assignments in this given email ID.